They took my blood. Like, that made me sick. They had to take 7 tubes.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining and being here with me today. Today we're going to be talking about Amberlynn and her infrequent visits to the ER and her annoying, pretty much, the doctors. It's going to be a pretty funny clip, so stay with me on this one. Let's get into the video.
So today is day 1 of actually taking my mood stabilizer. I am kind of nervous because the girl said that this could cause a very bad rash that could be deathly.
Okay, so where do I begin? There are a couple of things so wrong with this little speech that she did here. So firstly, she's nervous. That's not news to any of us because she's been nervous for quite a lot of things. She's always nervous. She's even nervous when she eats new food. Secondly, she just called the healthcare professional the girl. She does this quite a lot, and I think it is quite patronizing, and a little bit rude and disrespectful. But not only that, but she also goes on to say that taking the medication that was prescribed to her by a healthcare professional, it could be deathly. I don't know what she was thinking about in her mind, but I think she wanted to say deadly. But anyway, I'm not going to crucify her for that. Let's keep going.
And I'm just like, what? Excuse me? So I am a little scared, but I wanted to take it here with you guys. Here it is, this little itty bitty baby. It is now in my system.
Yes, girl. Congrats. That's what we want.
So if you guys didn't watch my last video, I was diagnosed with a bunch of different things, and one of them is I have bipolar disorder.
So for anyone that's new here, just a reminder that I would take anything Amberlynn says in terms of her diagnosis with a pinch of salt. There's been a couple of times where she said some quite odd things. She once also said that she was diagnosed with ASMR. So I'm going to just leave that there for you to think about.
And I figured I did, and it's just kind of crazy to like be actually diagnosed with it. So that is why I am taking this mood stabilizer, because I can't take antidepressants. She said that's actually why antidepressants don't work for me, is because I am bipolar.
Look, I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but I feel like with all of her diagnoses, she always seems to know beforehand. Yeah, I mean, we can all be right a couple of times, and sometimes, the doctor may not be able to, solve it in the first case. But for Amberlynn, it seems that every single doctor has always misdiagnosed her, and her diagnosis was always right. I don't know. I just find that a little bit odd. The other thing is, yes, Amberlynn, your antidepressants won't work for you because if you've got bipolar, it means, two ends of the opposite spectrum. So you could be feeling really, really shit one day, and then the next you could be feeling really, really good. So if you were taking antidepressants, it could make you feel falsely elated, and that could be quite dangerous. You've got people jumping off of balconies and, off of buildings, and that's not safe. So that's why you can't have antidepressants. So just listen to your damn doctor.
So we're gonna be taking a mood stabilizer, which I've never taken before, and it's not supposed to start actually working until 3 to 6 weeks. So today is day 1. So we did this thing. We are one step closer to a better Amberlynn. Hey guys, so a little mini update. Today has not been my day. I've just been experiencing a lot of depression, anxiety, and things like that, and Becky's trying to make people feel better, so we're literally sitting on the floor playing Skippo.
And yet you say that Becky wasn't supportive. That your current wifey is, so supportive like no one before. I don't see wifey doing this with you.
So that's what we're doing. She's actually in a beanbag. Oh my god, I got that on camera. Are you okay?
Yeah, this beanbag though.
I think we all collectively agree that Becky was a very private person. She was pretty much she wanted to be off camera. She wouldn't really be the first one to be in front of the camera. It's funny how she respects wifey's privacy like that, but when it comes to Becky, it was the camera always shoving it on her face. Yeah, she says, I've grown up and I've changed, blah blah blah, but also, why do you film her embarrassing moments? Like she fell off the beanbag here. Why you could have cut that out. You know that Becky gets embarrassed because of things like that. Heck, I don't live with Becky, and I still know that about her.
Now we're playing Uno. I'm always the shuffler.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Amber, you should do more videos like this. I really, I want to see her skills. I do.
And dealer. Because I'm a pro at it. I taught myself at a children's shelter how to shuffle. All by myself because I had nothing else to do when I was like 10 years old. So that's what I taught myself to do. And you know what else I would do? Nice angle. I would literally sit there and I would get chapter books and I would get paper and I would rewrite the books.
Just for fun?
I had nothing else to do. I think that's why I can write so many different ways. Because like I would practice like several different ways of writing at such a young age.
But you know what's so annoying? She had this interest, and for a young Amberlynn, that is talent. And I don't know why. I mean, I suppose I get it. She was in care, but I wish that someone helped her pursue this thing, like whether it was like a certificate she could have got or like a degree or something. It really would have helped her.
Hey guys, so it is the next day. I am wearing the same thing I wore yesterday because I woke up and just threw it on because it was right next to the bed. But I am actually about to go to the ER. I only got about 4 hours of sleep, but really don't care. I noticed yesterday, I just feel like everything's falling apart. Like my whole body is just done, and I don't blame it. But yesterday I started noticing a pain slash little bit of, I guess you could call it maybe puffiness and hardness near my belly button. And my first instinct is hernia. Blood test, pee test. I might get an IV, and they found nothing.
I'm sorry, man. Look, she is honestly the queen of moderation. She is the queen of drama. She's the queen of being dramatic. We know this. I just wonder why some people, I get if you have like some kind of chest pain or shortness of breath, or arm weakness, that kind of thing, and you just rush to the ER. I really don't get like why people get a pain, like in a small specific part of the body, and their first instinct is like, no, I have to go to the emergency room. I'm not saying you should wait in pain, but I suppose what I'm saying is, you typically try something, right? Like, oh, let me move my arm. Let me see, if it's improving. Let me take some painkillers. Does that work for me? No. Okay. Look, the pain is still there. I'm going to give it another 20 more minutes. Maybe I'll sleep on it, wake up. And no, the pain is actually getting worse. Right. Shit. I'm going to go to the ER. With Amberlynn, it's I woke up with a pain. I'm going to the ER.
And the doctor I saw was just like so nonchalant about how much pain I'm in and where it's located. They literally sent me home, really sending me home without a diagnosis.
God, this annoys me so much. Okay, so this is an emergency room. Okay, this is not a place where you can sit with your cup of coffee or tea and sit and discuss your diagnosis or what it could be, what it could not be. This is literally an emergency. So people come here because they're very, very sick. There are people who are peeing blood. There are people who are vomiting blood. There are people who can't breathe. People who have been, shot up or run over by a bus. That kind of thing is happening. So this is no place for you to sit and talk about what it could or couldn't be to your neck or arm or whatever it was. Where you want to be for that is your primary care doctor. Okay?
I'm going to go back to the ER. I am going to go to a different ER.
And why? Why would you do this? Why would you take up space like that? Okay, fine. Go to a different ER. I mean, you pay for it, so whatever. But it's just they're not going to give you what you want. What you want is to go into an office and sit and talk to someone about your possible diagnosis, doing multiple different kind of tests, getting them ordered on a different day, going for tests in and out, wait for the results, and then decide, okay, we've ruled this out, it's possibly this, and your result says this. So this is not going to be happening in an ER, and I guarantee you that you going to a different ER is going to be the same thing. They will do the emergency tests to make sure that you're okay to go home and sit by yourself and that you're safe. That is the point of the ER. Not to go and sit and discuss diagnoses. That is not what it's for. You have a doctor for that. And as long as you're not dying, you're okay. You can wait for that appointment, because guess what? There are people who are dying, who could be losing their lives any minute. And this is just not the right place, Amber.
I hope that they'll help me with this, because like, obviously it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Like, it'd be a little bit different if I woke up today and it was like better, or if it was just the same. I probably would just wait to schedule an appointment with my doctor, because that's what I was gonna do. And now the fact that it's getting like worse freaks me out. So I'm gonna go to the ER. I feel like if you go to the ER, you should, get the test done to be the deciding factor of what's wrong with you. Like, you should never leave the ER like, oh, you're fine, you're just in pain in the most weirdest spot ever. Like, it just doesn't make no sense to me.
Did you really say that? That, it doesn't make sense to you? Of course it doesn't make sense to you. You're not the doctor. You're not the nurse. You're not the healthcare professional. They decide. So if they think that you're fit and well enough to wait for your appointment with your regular doctor, your primary care doctor, then you should probably wait for that. Now, granted, yeah, if the pain is getting worse, go ahead. I'm not saying don't make use of the service. I mean, you're the one who's paying at the end of the day. But it is a little bit weird. I do understand now why people say that, she was doctor shopping. She just goes to different people until she gets the answer that she wants. And I believe that people were saying that she was doing this with like her, mental health diagnoses, but, who knows?
Everyone that I've talked to about this has been like, what? That doesn't make sense. So no, it doesn't at all. So,
What's another thing, that makes it so obvious that you're just not sure in your own, opinions, is when you start to, when you begin to include other people in, trying to validate that what you feel is, the right thing. So everyone else agrees, it's not just me, I'm not crazy. No, you don't. If your argument is valid and strong on its own, you don't need other people to, sit and protect you and agree with you. Yeah?
I woke up worse, so I'm going back to the ER.
Well, that was painful to sit through. I'm sorry, everybody. So the next one is when Amber went to the ER, because of her gallstones. Let's start and break it apart.
Hello, everybody. Some of you probably know this. I was diagnosed with gallstones a little over 2 years ago. To make a long story short, I pretty much had to force the emergency room to take an ultrasound, because I knew I had gallstones, but their hearts were set on, oh, you're too young to have gallstones, but I knew I had them. The attacks were horrible. After a couple tests, I was right. It came back that I had gallstones.
So already we can see that she did the same thing again. So she told the doctors that this is what I have. And when they, proposed, I seriously doubt that the doctor said, no, Amberlynn, no, you're incorrect. I don't think doctors speak to anybody like that. So if you think that you've got a serious problem, I think they should take you seriously. And I think they've probably given her valid answers as to why they think that it could be something else, why they think that something more common, would be the cause. But, even with the diagnosis that she got, she's making it sound like it's this amazing thing she found out. Given her history, I think it's not that uncommon. So she says she does a lot of, she wakes up in the morning, she skips her food, that kind of thing. When you're hungry a lot. Anyway, forget that. Forget her diet. It is very common to have gallstones. Some people have the gallstones forever and never really find out, and they die with it. It doesn't cause any problems. And for other people, it can cause the stones to sort of move, and then that can cause the pain as well. So you didn't do anything crazy, Amberlynn. You just forced them to do the scan. If we probably took 10 people out of the street and just scanned them, they'll probably also have gallstones.
Before I was diagnosed, I actually had a lot of gallbladder attacks, gallstones attacks, whatever you want to call them. The pain is atrocious.
The pain is what? The pain is what? Seriously, I can't take her seriously.
For some reason, when I was diagnosed, the pain completely stopped for 2 years. A lot of the reason why it stopped was because I completely stopped my weight loss journey. I got gallstones because of rapid weight loss. Every time I would lose weight, the attacks would come. Every time I gained weight, the attacks would leave. I was sabotaging my mind so much by gaining weight. I did not want gallstone attacks. The pain was something that I just couldn't bear.
Okay, cut the bullshit, Amber. You're saying that you stopped your weight loss journey because you didn't want to get gallstone attacks? Well, if you got the attack so many times and it freaked you out, and if they knew that it was gallstones, why didn't they just take it out? If it was that bad, and if it was stopping you from losing weight and getting you to a healthier weight, something smells fishy.
This week I have been doing absolutely incredible. I have not been doing this well in a very, very long time. Comes with that is weight loss, and the weight loss is probably happening really, really fast. I haven't weighed myself, so I don't know how fast. And what's happening with that is I am having gallstone attacks again. I'm also having some other symptoms that I don't really feel like sharing. It's really, really, really making me nervous. If your attacks get worse, your gallstones get worse. Your gallstone will go into your intestine, and it will go to your liver.
Okay, your anatomy was a little off there, but we're gonna ignore that.
I do not want that to happen to me, you guys. I literally am terrified. Crystal's about to take me to the ER. I'm insanely nervous. Last time I went, they told me next time I come from gallbladder pain, they're taking my gallbladder out. I just got done doing all kinds of crying because of how nervous I am.
I just love it how she says that she got done all kinds of crying. Like, she makes it sound like a task. Like, you know, if someone's about to ask her out, no, sorry, this is my 15 minutes of crying time. Leave me alone.
What they're gonna say this time. Last time I went there, it was like 2 years ago or a little over. I'm scared I'm gonna die on the table.
Not dramatic at all. Okay.
I need to go though. I'm tired of living in fear to lose weight.
Okay, she made it sound like the whole reason that she wasn't losing weight was purely because of this. Come on, girl.
I want to be normal again. I'm tired of feeling sick. I'm tired of feeling the pain. I want to lose weight fast. I really, really do. I want to be healthy. For that to happen, I need my gallbladder to come out. The pain I had about 15 minutes ago was absolutely horrible. It does vanish, but then it comes back, and then it leaves, and then it comes back.
Listen, I'm not going to take away the fact that that is really painful. I've heard of, gallbladder attacks and the stones sort of moving, and it is really, really painful. I know. I mean, I haven't felt it, but from the stories I know, it's quite painful. But notice how all of her emergency room stories end up with her being in such ridiculous amount of pain. Always the same. I mean, if you look at her new video of when she fell, she makes it sound like the world ended. Granted, it is painful, yes, but she makes it sound so bad that it's kind of impossible to tell what the worst kind of pain she's had was, because every single pain she's had is the worst thing ever.
This sucks so bad. We've been here for like 5 hours now, and I'm just now gonna be seen by the doctor, hopefully.
Yeah, Amber, you're in a place where it's an emergency. So a lot of people are sick. Like I said earlier, lots of people are on the list, and whoever is more sick, they get the attention first because they could die. So that is why you've had to wait that long. Anyway, you're in the right place, so you're just waiting for your care. You just need to be a little bit more appreciative and stop diagnosing yourself. What is the point of going to the doctors if you're just going to do whatever you want?
That's alright. And it was shaking like a leaf. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I guess we'll see. They took my blood. Like, that made me sick.
She reminds me of those kids that go back to school and show off about their blood spot where they've had blood taken, and they're like, "Ooh, look at me."
This thing on me. For an itch. I've never seen such a thing in my life. 149 over 73. Not shabby. 149 over 73 is actually pretty decent, especially for someone my size. Like, geez.
Okay. First things first, it's especially, not especially. For God's sake, you love literature and you love poems and writing and shit. Why do you not say the right word? It wouldn't annoy me so much if you didn't tell us about how great you are at writing. Anyway, the second thing is you are hypertensive. That means you have high blood pressure. That is not a normal or a decent blood pressure. This is why you can't be diagnosing yourself.
I have no idea what's happening. I just saw like 2 nurses among like the other like 5 people I've seen.
Again, she makes it sound so dramatic. I feel like I'm on the Titanic with her and the ship is sinking.
And now I have to wait for like the head honcho doctor. And when the nurse left, she's all, I don't know if I should put an IV in you yet. And then I like literally started crying when she left the room because I don't know what's happening. And I'm really nervous. My blood pressure just was taken again and it's 135 over 82. I always get really worried that my blood pressure is like super high, but I guess it's not. I just got out of the hospital. I'm actually leaving grateful, happy, relieved, and I have a lot more knowledge on my gallbladder and my gallstones.
I just want to apologize to the doctors for the pain they had to endure for Amberlynn's questions. And thank you so much for helping her out, honestly, and helping her understand what is wrong.
I haven't even eaten half of my calories for today because I barely ate anything all day long. I don't feel like cooking at 1 a.m. especially.
Oh my God, no. No! No! Don't tell me she's gonna be telling me that she's going to go and get some takeout. No.
Because Crystal's parents are sleeping and they have to wake up for work super early. They actually have to wake up at 3 a.m. I don't want to be making a bunch of racket downstairs. We're going to go to IHOP and I'm going to choose a meal that fits into my calories because I'm not going over. I promised you guys I wouldn't, and I'm still succeeding in that promise.
No. So let me get this straight. You're telling me you've just come out of the hospital because you were worried that you were going to die on the operating table. Because of your gallstones, you were having a gallstone attack, and the doctors explained to you what the problem was. They explained and educated you, and I'm presuming that they explained to you that, you probably need to avoid fatty foods because your gallbladder secretes bile every time you eat fatty foods. And now, after all of the knowledge, and after all of the trauma, you're going to IHOP to go and eat a fatty meal. Are you kidding me?
Hey guys, so if you watched our last vlog, you know that I went to the ER yesterday. Nothing.
So after that shit show, we're moving on to another Amberlynn video where she again is dissatisfied with the level of care that she got from the emergency room.
I left without a diagnosis or anything, like literally nothing. So something is obviously not right. I was going to see my actual doctor, but I kind of can't because it's the weekend. And the ER yesterday said if I get any worse to go back to ER, but I'm not going back to that ER because they just seemed very nonchalant. So I'm going to go to a different one.
You can tell that that's a new word that she learned because she just won't drop it.
I'm just really nervous and I just hope nothing's like really wrong. We have been at the hospital for literally 10 minutes. We've already seen a nurse and a doctor. This hospital, ER, way better than the one I went to yesterday.
Just watch out for it. She's saying this, but in a minute she'll be shitting all over the doctors. Give it a few seconds.
But I feel like things are still just kind of up in the air. He came back and he told me it might be an infection, like nothing is like for sure. He's like, it might be an infection. And he said, it might be something that needs to be surgically fixed. And I was just like, what? Like, I don't know. So he put me on 2 antibiotics and one is a topical and the other one is oral.
And Queen of Moderation is still not happy. You can see it in her eyes. She is not happy. She wants the drama. And the doctor didn't give her the drama. The doctor didn't say, Amberlynn, we're gonna cut you open. She was waiting for that, and she was just given antibiotics. She's not happy with that.
And I have to do the oral 3 times a day, and I have to do the other one 2 times a day. So that was a pretty penny. So on top of that, I'm like so confused because then another woman comes back and she hands me, because you know how like when you leave a hospital, they give you like papers on what your diagnosis is. She came back with papers about cellulitis, and I was just like, okay, that's weird. And she explained, he's just giving you this just in case this is what it is. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I know from experience everything about cellulitis because I've had it twice. It was both times in high school.
Oh shit, guys. She knows everything about cellulitis because she had it twice. Can we hand her medical degree now? Please?
The second time I actually was hospitalized because I was like literally on the verge of death. It was one of the most scarier times of my life. And to me, this doesn't really feel like cellulitis because before I couldn't eat. I couldn't even think straight. I had a fever that was like 105. That's when I was hospitalized. I had the chills and all that. And like, I was puking a lot. Like, it was bad. And I don't have any of that. I guess there are certain situations where you don't get all that with cellulitis, but the 2 times I have had it, that has been, what happened. And I don't know, but today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. God, I can't even talk. Tomorrow's Monday. As soon as it's Monday, like literally, I am going to call my doctor's office, make an appointment for as early as possible.
My God, this girl is so exhausting. After being to the ER twice, 2 different teams, she's now going back to her doctor. And I mean, this is the place that she should have went to in the beginning anyway. But I feel like she's not even going to be happy with her primary care doctor either. And then she's going to be looking for another doctor, and it's just going to go on and on and on and on and on.
As soon as possible, and hopefully get this figured out, because this is just a lot. Like, it's still very up in the air, and I don't want anything super wrong to be there. Like, I'm scared, and even Becky's scared, and it was so sad. But on the way, like when she was driving, she started crying, and I was just like, babe, what's wrong? And she was just so worried about me that she just started crying, and it was so random. Like, we weren't even talking about anything.
Honestly, Amber, and you had the cheek to say that Becky didn't care about you. She took you to your hospital appointments. Who would you have gone with? If Becky wasn't there, who would have you gone with? Maybe called Destiny and Dana? I don't know. Or would you have taken an Uber? I feel like you were too shy to be calling an Uber and getting in and out of it yourself, so you wouldn't have done that. So why would you make Becky feel so bad? Now, I'm talking to the current Amberlynn. It's so sad because Becky really cared about you. Okay, maybe you guys weren't in love, but she did care.
I'm just gonna do, what is asked of me, and that's the only thing I can do. And like Eric keeps telling me, breathe, just breathe, and what I keep telling myself is I can't change something that I can't change. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for enduring this pain and sitting through this whole video with me. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun, and I really love, sitting and talking with you guys in the comments. So drop me a message and we'll talk there, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.